All right, guys, back at it again. What's going on? What's cracking? It's Saturday, it's beautiful, and I get to work in the car some more. So this is completely done. Everything's extended, so I'm actually happy. So you guys saw the last video. I finished extending those wires. I had a couple people message me saying about, hey, putting it in the trunk. As of right now, I don't feel competent enough to do all that. I mean, I get it. You're just extending wires moved to the trunk, but you got to make sure the gauge is right. You know, you always have voltage drop when you do that. I just don't feel like doing that. Realistically, what I would need to do is put this back in the car, cut the wires, then run it back there so you can know what the lengths and stuff you need. I have removed a lot too, so I'd almost want to take this all apart because, I mean, ABS takes up a lot of this wiring setup, a lot. And most of those wires are no longer being used, so they're kind of useless. So in that aspect, I'm like, all right, what do I do with that? So yeah, interesting. So what I need to do now is go back to working on my car because there's a couple more things I need to do on that. Other thing I need to do too is I need to paint the top of this, but I'm putting this back away because this is taking up my entire workbench. It's going back in the box, which I don't like doing because anytime you move or, yeah, wires getting crunched and, oh God, this makes me cringe every time.
Live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in the ones.
Also watching a little PFI speed. These guys, I freaking love their videos. I really like Brett and those guys. They seem like good people. But what I'm working on now is the plastic. So you can buy these, right? But it kills me that this piece of plastic like this is $200. Fuck that. If it doesn't look good, then yes, I'll buy it. But I might as well try to save $200 on a piece of plastic, like $200, like that's absurd to me. So I'm gonna try to clean these up, and if not, then I'll paint them. I actually painted mine, that's what I did, and that's been on there, and I drove that a ton of miles. I doubt this thing will even see 1/8 the amount of mileage that has, so these should be fine. But another thing I need to do besides clean them up is this tab here I need to cut off, and you're like, why would you do that? The under tray that goes under the bumper, like you would see that normally goes under, isn't there. This flap here, okay, catches wind because this is facing the front of the car like so. So that flap catches the wind and pulls this out and rips it. So what I did on my car and what I'd like to do on, I think, Matt's car too, is I cut this and cut it around and then cut it down right there, just so it moves that so the air can't catch it there. You can see the vents here, but this little bit will rip it. So it can ventilate here, but this doesn't help. So what I'm gonna do is cut that there on that one. The rear one doesn't need anything cut on. This needs cleaned and or painted depending how bad it is. All right, guys, so there you go again. Cut the plastic off there at the bottom. It's not beautiful or anything, but I can clean up then with the Dremel. That big cutter doesn't do well, but you see 2 pieces that cut off. Take those, throw those in the trash. I need to get, look at this. I wanted to show you guys this. Now, listen how stupid this is. All right, I had this house built, and I didn't realize, like, look over there too. Why would you put just a, yeah. Oh, yeah, good luck. I couldn't catch that.
I don't know if I can get it that far.
So, you got the concrete pad here. Okay, so let me show you this. So there's my dumpster I keep outside, which you can see the dirt dying there, or the grass and all the stuff that died there from putting it there. But my builder put just a concrete pad here. Why wouldn't you put 2 more spots? I get it, that's all you have to do by law, but like, I would pay for it. When we got here and we got finished, we're like, what the fuck? Dumb shit. So I want that ripped out. I need someone that can come do concrete work because I want to extend it back to there, or rip this out and do paved stones. I also want to do it in the back too. So if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. But let's get back to car stuff and clean all this shit up now. All right, so I've cleaned these up and washed them backside. Look how nice the backside looks. It just kind of sucks, but here's the overspray or the undercoating that was on this car. You can tell this was done back in the 90s. They used to put this on coatings under cars, and you paid extra for this. The problem is the material back then and the quality of the undersprays were trash compared to what they are now. Like when you think of Line-X, you think of the undercoatings we have now are just so much better. The materials, everything are. And over time, it honestly gets like gooey. and it turns like brown. It absorbs the dirt and stuff, so it'll get brown and nasty. You could scrub and scrub and scrub this and it won't get any better. And on top of that, I've got it over here, but on top of having this crappy whatever stuff, they also, when this car was wrecked, they got overspray over everything. All that is overspray. I'm slowly chipping a lot of it off. You can see where I got chunks off it here. But a lot of it's just not coming off, unfortunately, and it's just in there. So I'm to the point now where I'm gonna try spray painting these. Not ideal. This one's by far the worst. This one came out half decent. You can see where I chipped off a lot there. Got a lot off here too. Just I want to get anything that could flake off, especially if I'm going to paint it here. And the way I'm looking at it is, worst case scenario, I'll have to buy all new plastics, which I don't want to do, but that's been painted for years. So what I did is I just acetoned one piece, and I'm only painting one piece here first, just to be safe. But I'm doing the very back piece, which is the most hidden one of them all. Have it out here in the sun. I'm using that bumper paint again, but some of the spots where it was silver, I mean, it really does not want to absorb the paint at all. The rest looks nice and black, but I might just need to hit it with some more paint or hit it a bit harder with this bumper coating stuff. But you're supposed to be able to do a good bit of coatings, and hopefully it stays on there. So I'll give you guys a final product here when I'm done. All right, I'm beyond happy with this. This stuff is pretty awesome. This Dupli-Color bumper coating, which I also used for the cow in her car. I was reading online, this works good for this too. They actually have undercoatings that you can use, but I don't want I'm trying to get away from the wrinkly look as much as I can, because I've also used before, I'm not sure if I have any left in here or not. Is there any, right here, this professional grade bumper or undercoating? The problem with that is it's the same thing. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It gives it like a textured look. Did I do any in here? Like, if you see there, if you just like this stuff, it's like a textured look and it's black, and that's what it's meant for. I don't want that on the plastics. I want this to have as much of a smooth look as possible. This has a slight, maybe very, very, not even, like it gives it some texture, but nothing real. I mean, it's still pretty smooth on here. But it adheres real well to plastic, which I like. And it dries really fast. Like within like 5 to 10 minutes, like it's dry, like no residue, nothing. Like I could go use it, put it on the car and be done. And it even says the thing within 10 minutes should be dry to the touch. Within an hour, it's completely ready to go. 24 hours to 100% curable. You know what I'm saying? Like you could put this on the car. I'd probably wait a day to drive it, because I would assume any heat or anything it flicks onto it would probably chip the paint off. But very impressed. If you mean look at the difference here. This is night and day. So very happy with this. I'm gonna do this for the rest of them now. I've been taking acetone, so I got acetone too, and just cleaning it up and getting any oil residue, anything that's left over, just to clean up the face of them. The backside of the plastics I don't do. Now look how fresh and new they still look. They were just covered in dirt. I wish the inside of the wheel wells looked like that, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and clean up the rest of these and paint them. All right, guys, so everything for the most part is done. You can see here everything is nice and black. BB's here also with his TRC video shirt on. Look at that. Shut up and fucking race. That's right. I love it. So right now we are finishing up the plastics. Painted. Now this one is not. Now look at this. All right, and then look at that. The camera does not do it justice, but it's nice and black versus this is all ashy. So hopefully this lasts a while, but this is like ashy. Looks like it's peeling and stuff. So I got as much off as I could. So next up is painting this, and then I'll be done. So we got BB there, boot scooting boogieing right over. We got to measure the drive shaft. Look at this thing, it's on the ground again. Isn't that amazing? Look at it. But we got to measure the drive shaft for Joe here. Oh my God, let's get under here. So we're gonna measure from the back of the drive shaft up to this point here, up to the face of the transmission. So I got to get a proper length. And I gotta send him the measurements here, so me and BB are gonna do that real quick. All right, guys, and I gotta say, so this is the last part of this video here. Joel sent me another piece. This is an update to the, what's the word I'm looking for the shifter boot and stuff. This will look like a V160 now. So the shift knob will come right to the bottom of this, which I'll show you here. And this is supposed to look like the reverse lockout. This is 3D printed. This is the third one he sent me now. We keep making revisions, and this bottom part is to hold it for the skirt of the boot itself. So got to give it to Joel, man. He actually cares and listens. And if you guys noticed too, I'm actually using my iPhone because my camera got destroyed. And there's a whole story to that. I'm not going to go into this video, but yeah, my vlog camera got busted. So unfortunately, I have to use my iPhone, which actually records better. The problem is it's hard to record and have your iPhone be your main way of recording. It kind of makes it a pain in the ass, but the quality is just pretty good. So what I'm going to do here quick is pop off the old plastic one, which if I can show you here, I'm going to put it all three side by side, but there's his last revision. Here's the new one. So you see how much more there is here. So this will sit down even further. It should look just like a V160 now, especially with the Granis Racing shift knob that he uses, which is supposed to be a replica, and it looks just like it. Only thing he does is put the GR in the back, which I really like. And yeah, so let's go ahead and remove this. Two pieces in, and look at that. So now it looks like you truly have a reverse lockout. I like it. I'm happy with this. I think it looks good. By the way, I just took the car for a drive. The new trans feels great. So much happier now, and I'm starting to really like using an iPhone over my old camera because the autofocus is so fucking fast. Like if you want a dark space, boom. Like the aperture's not as good, doesn't go as low, but still pretty damn good. I'm really, really happy with this. But that being said, and on that one, guys, I'm gonna sign out. Hopefully, I feel like the iPhone quality is so much better. But yeah, so guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully that was helpful with all the, what's the word I'm looking for here, with the painting and stuff. I think it's gonna last. I think it's gonna work out for us, or for me, I should say, for her. On mine, it started to chip on the front, but I never prepped it or anything like I did this time. I literally just got like regular spray paint and just sprayed it on. This is like maybe even more, 11 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. Yeah, 7, 8 years ago. But anyways, I digress. All right, guys, enough of me rambling on. Hope you guys have a great day and stay COVID free. Talk to you later. Peace.